we have here is filming the Christmas program on July the 21st, 1990 at the Stouffer Waverly Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. Oscar Poole speaking. And Collectors United National Convention of the doll manufacturers, and Gary Green is as I was saying, Oscar Poole speaking here at the Waverly Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia in July, 6 months before the Christmas season. And Gary Green, who is the owner of this company, has asked that I come, Oscar Poole, alias Yablinski. I shall be giving a piano skit telling a story about a young man who went to college and so on in just a little while. And Ken Johnson is the video man, and we're looking forward to a good time, a very festive occasion, and we hope it goes over real well. Thank you, Ken, for being the cameraman today.
Get this right, Yablinski. I met or knew Yashka when he first came over from Poland, and since then I don't know how many of you have heard of him. I'm sure most of you here have. He has a broken dialect, so y'all have to sort of bear with him. It's worse than the southern talk that I have, but he's well known. He's the Pentagon knows very much of him. I think he's even a friend of President Bush. I'm sure you've heard his name many times in the newspapers. So at this time, I'll let Yaska just take the forefront. He's bringing us a message.
Thank you to Mr. Green. I am a bit confused. I think he said to be up here on the platform. I will try. I'm a bit confused. Mr. Green asked me to to speak to this august body in July about Christmas. And we have Christmas in my country in December and January. But anyhow, it's a time of goodwill and cheer and peace. And so I say shalom, lahit, ra'at, shalom, everybody. Shalom. Shalom. My name is Yablinski. Can you say Yablinski? I spell it for you. Wida. You say Wida. Ada. It is Kiana. Yablinski. My mother was from Nowoszał, the eastern part of Poland, and my father was German Shepherd. You laugh. My father tended sheep in the country, you understand, south of Vermont. You know that. And my father and mother met in Ireland. What's so funny? My father and mother met in Ireland, near the city of Belfast, where I was born. So that makes me Polish, Jewish, German, Irish, and you know, in Ireland, the certain groups cannot get along, the various ones, so you know, you can imagine that, and I did much sitting there. I sat there in Ireland a good while. And so we moved to West Palm Beach. Yes, West, you know where West. The other day a man asked me where West Palm Beach was. I said, don't you know? A little west of Palm Beach. That's where it is. I never shall forget when I came to your country here as a grown man. I came to your country as a grown man, and I went, you know, a long time ago. Be a long time. Okay. And I went to the school to the first grade, and to learn the language of American. And the chairs was too small, so they brought the big chairs. And I never shall forget the first day I was there. I asked the teacher, but now you notice I say W for W. You already see that. I cannot say W, I say the W for W. And I said, what is that long word that begins over here and goes all the way around the room, A, B, C, D, F, K. I said, she says, that's not a bird. I said, well, what is it? She said, it's the alphabet. Oh, you mean it spells alphabet? No, it doesn't spell anything. I said, well, if it doesn't spell anything, I'm not going to learn. Which reminds me one day when I did get to the third grade, in my English, you know, the lesson, I put on the top of the paper, B in big letters, B, A, R, K. And the teacher called me in, she said, what, or she could say the W, what is this B-A-R-K? I said, that means, Lord, am I confused? And she said, but you don't spell confused with a K. I said, but ma'am, you don't know how confused I really am. And I don't forget, in the one time we were studying the income tax, the IRS, you know, in March and April, and they asked me to write an essay on taxation. I didn't know much about taxes, so I wrote down, I had a dog, his name was Tax, I opened the door, and income tax. Oh well. One day I was in New York City. I was there. And I saw 3 dogs. Two were the French nationality. They call them French poodles. Me, M, and F, Fifi. F, one said to the American hound dog, who was asleep there on the curb, and one said, my name is Mimi, M-I. And the other one said, my name is Fifi, F-I. And the American hound dog, very disgusted, said, my name is Fido, P-H-Y-D-E-A-U-X. Did you hear about the two dogs, or the two fleas, rather, that came out of the theater one night, and it was late, and one yawned and said, would you rather walk or take a dog? Walk or take a dog? He got it over there, you see. And one day, two fleas were discussing how business was. And one said that it's been very good. I have enough, almost enough saved for my own dog. And then, of course, you heard the two dogs, and one asked the other how business was. He says, lately, it's been very rough. Anyhow, I came to tell you a story. I get serious now. And tell you a story. I say story, I mean that it's the truth, you know. We essay a narrative about a young man who grew up. I say grew up because some of us grow out. And the young man grew up and went away to college. To the college, university you call it. There he fell in love with the most beautiful young lady. I say the most beautiful young lady. I can see her in my mind now. But if you permit me. But it's not good to do that here in public, what I see. He fell in love with the most beautiful young lady. And before I go any further, let me explain to you, this young man was not the preacher, the minister, or the preacher, or the son of a preacher, but he had what we call in our country the preacher's problem. He had no money. And you know it takes money to court the girl. You know the girl I was, a moment ago, this girl. So what he did, he decided on skiing. He thought what he would do, I will write home and tell my people that I have fallen in love with the fine arts. Music, the piano in particular. And if they will send extra money up here each week, I will take the lesson. Well, they did. They liked that. And they sent the money. And they were so pleased. Our son has fallen in love with the fine arts, music in particular. And so he did not take the lessons. You know what he did? He took the girl. He took the girl. And she took him. And they went on and on, week after week after week, until finally, I get serious now, Judgment Day came. By that I mean, it was time, this semester was ending, it was time to go home for the holidays, the Christmas holidays, and he must go home and face the music, you see. And he did not know how to play the piano. He had had no lessons. He had courted the girl. And what you call in your country here, when you do in your churches, for one, you do one thing and say the other, he was the what do you call it? What do you call it? Yes, he was the hypocrite. He was the hypocrite. And he said, well, he felt so low. But they came for her to go her way, and he stayed and told this story to his friend who was the pianist and said, could you teach me to play one song? fun song on the piano. I have been the hypocrite. I must go home and face the music. I don't know where R is on the piano, let alone middle C. Could you show me where C is and show me how to play one song on the piano between now and tomorrow? He said, you mean with both hands? Yes. You believe in miracles? Please. So they went over to the, where the pianists were, the practice pianist, and they found the piano where they have the practice pianist on Thursday night. I think Thursday night. And the first thing he did was to show him where the middle C was. Where the middle C was, of course, it'd be in the middle of the piano. He found the middle C. And then he put both hands over the piano. And what do you call when you work together? Yes, coordination. Coordination. And so, all night long, and long about Friday morning, at 4 o'clock, the friend had taught the young man to play one song. And with your permission, I would like to play for you now. It's okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Green told me you like good music. August body. Well, that night, he caught the bus. I say caught the bus, I mean he didn't chase the bus was still, he got on. And all night long they rode to travel to the destination. And so on Saturday morning about 6:30 daylight, they rolled in to the bus station. I say rolled in, the bus did the rolling, and he was on the bus stopped, he got off. There to meet him was his father. The father was there, and he was welcome him home, and the host of teenage colleagues, and welcome. We have a surprise for you. We go out to have the breakfast. And when they got there, after the good food, the father said, we have a surprise for you. Our son, been away to university, has fallen in love with the fine arts, music in particular, and we have sent the money up there, and his mother and I wanted you to be the first to hear our son play the piano upon his arrival home. I was in Kentucky just yesterday, and I heard a man say he was between the rock and the hard place. That's where this young man was. Well, but he moved from the parlor, from the kitchen, where they ate, to the parlor where the piano was, and this is what he played. If it's all right. Let both hands. Well, the pastor was there. Yes. The pastor of the church was there. And he came up and said, "My, how beautiful you play the piano." Yes, what he said. And he said, "I was just thinking by you." And you know, sometimes pastors do things. "I was just thinking while you were playing so beautifully, if tomorrow morning, when we have the church, the what you call in your country when you say the offering, what you call it? Offering to reap. Offering to reap? Something like that. Well, oh my goodness. The young man bowed his head, and I guess he was praying, and anyhow, the pastor left as soon as he'd be there, and Sunday came, the Sunday, seventh day upcoming, and he went, the church was starting, you see. And well, at that church, they had the people gathering in, they had the most spiritual ludes. The most spiritual ludes. Pray ludes. Yes. They had the pray ludes there. Spiritual ludes, pray. And they start the church, you know. And it was time to take up the money, what you call offertory. And he went to the piano, and this is what he played. If it's all right. Okay. the close of the service, when they all had wakened up, all had been wakened by Gary Green. I see women poking. She knows what I mean. The girl came to him and said, "Oh, we are so happy that you have been to university and learned to play the piano so beautifully. And we're having on Tuesday night over here at the town center the Christmas party for the young people. Young people. And would you come and play something fast and loud, or a waltz, or the boogie? Well, what can I say except Tuesday night came. And this is what he played. It's all right. Chaperoning, look after the young people. Chaperoning. The party was a local piano music teacher. And she said that, you know, oh, you're the answer to my prayers. Been praying. And she said, we're having our recital. Recital. On Thursday right here, and we always have a guest pianist to play the classical number. Yes. And I forgot this year, and didn't get anybody. Something from Match. Chunk. Anyhow, you pick out this song, and we have you play. The Thursday night came, and this is what he played. It's all right. during the recital, the mayor died. Man, you have strange country. You married. Strange country. I come to your country, the hardest part, and the people left. Well, the mayor had been good mayor, and he had served so long at the office, and they decided the least they could do for the good mayor was to give him a good funeral. In my country, we do that for anybody. And so, 1 week after he came home from the college, where he fell in love with the fine arts, they asked him to play the funeral march. The low-bed black drape at the city hall to the last resting place, and the long procession they had, the senator and the governor, and this is what he played. If it's all right. The moral of this story, ladies and gentlemen, is be sure you take your piano lessons. Thank you very much. Just one word. I have tutors who helped me over the years, and I finally learned about the alphabet, and that was true story. It really was. It was true story about the alphabet. But if I am thinking, I can sometimes, with concentration, say my W. And actually, I tell people my Americanized name is Oscar Poole. Yeah. Well, that really is my real name. And I used to be this man's pastor. In Chatsworth, Georgia, he's to blame. He asked me to do this thing. And also, I happen to be, would you believe, of all things, now one last thing, he said I could do it. I'm an art dealer. I'm an art dealer for Mitchell D. Toll in Kentucky, who is the painter for Alex Haley. And if you're interested, see me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. He really can catch us. Thank you so much. Okay. On with the show.
just come from the Christmas party in July here at the Stouffer Waverly Hotel, and it looks Christmassy out here, doesn't it, Ken?
It sure does.
I don't know if is this the way it is all year round? What do you call this part out here? See those elevators going up and down there?
This is a lobby, I guess.
Lobby? And Edna and Elsie are going down the escalator in just a moment. And so if you'll turn to your extreme left there, Ken, there they go, right there. There they are, right there. There they are. Going down the... There they come. Ed in the red dress, and I think Elsie's in the green. Yes, there they are. You're on camera. We just had a long but great program here, Christmas in July, with Gary Green and Collectors Unite. Oscar Poole speaking, and Ken Johnson, the cameraman. Thank you, Ken, for a job well done.
I'm gonna get them big chandeliers on the other side.
And it certainly was a thrill playing the piano as we all sang Silent Night with that choir. That was the choir that played in the movie Driving Miss Daisy. Black choir from Atlanta, Georgia here. What a thrill that was to play the piano with them.